everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. This is Chidima from the Guided Dreams team, your number one immigration and education hub here in Ontario, Canada. So today we have a beautiful guest, my sister who lives in the UK. Her name is Ugo. Ugo, say hi to our
Hello.
fans.
Hi.
All right. So Ugo is here today for us to talk about something really, really interesting. I'm sure you guys are going to like today's topic. So Ugo lives in the UK and I live in Canada. So today we're going to be sharing our experiences. What is it like in the UK and then versus Canada. So stay tuned and I'm sure you'll be enjoying this few minutes. All right. So today we're going to be starting with the first question. So about working in the UK. So, what do you think about it? Like, do you have supportive colleagues, your vacation, your leave days, your work-life balance? Tell us about them.
Okay. First of all, I'm a nurse in the UK, so I'm going to, tell you from my own personal experience. It's working in the UK it can be very easy if you have the right source and all that. If you know your rights, because the information are there. Like you have the information on the policy and protocol that guide your workplace. And if you don't know it, then you can't use it. So first off is finding the information that supports you. You have some support groups, especially for foreigners, immigrants.
Okay.
There is what we call the BAME. It's just to support immigrants and make sure there is nothing like racism and all that.
Nice.
Yeah. And for moms, there is a good support system for them as well, at least starting with pregnancy related illness. Whenever you are for pregnant mothers, pregnancy can be very, very difficult with work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you never feel like going to work, but there is a very good support system for you. And if you don't come to work, you still get paid.
Oh, wow.
When you're pregnant, yes. There is like, if you work there, you want to be pregnant every time.
I can imagine.
It's really lovely. It's really lovely working there.
Okay.
Yeah, and depending on your department and your manager, if you have a good manager, you will love working in the UK. And as a nurse at the same time. And you've got a respect, especially when you're working with NHS. That's what NHS is like, a door opener to many places,
Okay.
It can give you, you have priority over a lot of people as far as your NHS worker because, yeah, they are number one in the UK, I would say.
So do you think that you have a good work-life balance? And then how many days do you think your vacation days?
Definitely. It depends on your band. But most people, maybe for band fives, is you have your first year working in the UK, you have at least, I think, around 25 days.
Nice.
And above, annual leaves and bank holiday as well. And this increases every 3 or 5 years. Yeah, you add more days to your leave. And you have sickness off, although it can be monitored. But the monitoring is not to discipline or persecute you. It's just to keep an eye and see how best to support you.
Oh, nice.
That's why they put you on the stage. You have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And we have emergency leave, and it's paid as well. But maybe one of the days your baby, your child, or your husband, or any of your dependent just fall ill. There is leave. You can take 24 hours just to sort yourself out for the rest of the days or weeks, as long as the person is still ill. But that first day you call in sick for your dependent is paid, and yeah.
That's really interesting because in Canada we have a totally different, not really totally, but we have a little bit of some differences, from my own personal experience. I'm a digital marketer, and I get 2 weeks of annual leave in a whole year. Yeah. I like that expression. But it depends also on your company, your level. People that work with the city, the federal job or the state job, they have longer days, which I'm not sure of the number. But personally, I've worked in 2 different companies, and each of them is 2 weeks of annual leave. And talking about support, we have a very good support. I have been very fortunate to work with very good supervisors. So I've had 2 pregnancies and I got good support. But
While in Canada.
yeah, while in Canada, and whenever I'm sick or having challenges and all of that, I get some days off, but I have limited number of paid days. The rest, you're getting it off, but is unpaid.
What about sickness off?
Yeah, I have 3 sick days in a whole year.
So you're allowed to be sick 3 times?
Yeah, you're allowed to be sick 3 days for me, for my company, my present company. So any other, you can be sick as many times as you like, but you have 3 days. Then if you need more days, then you have to go through a process that can allow you to get a government approval that can give you like a percentage. Yeah, a percentage of your salary while you recover. But that's a longer process. Okay, so that's about that. So let's talk about something else. How is the childcare in the UK? Talking about daycare and nanny and stuff.
Childcare is a very big challenge in the UK, especially for those of us that are immigrants that have few or no family around. In fact, that's the biggest challenge I know most people are facing. But we are lucky enough. We've got 15 hours free for working parents if you're working from 2 years and above. So what do you do before the 2 years? That's where the challenge comes from. It's quite difficult because...
Sorry, you say 15 hours per week or...
Per week.
Oh, I see.
Per week. For each
so you can
child.
do 5 hours, 3 times
it's
a
up
week.
To you how you want to do. If you want the 15 hours to be in a day.
So after the 15 hours is exhausted, you pay for the other extra.
You pay for extras.
Nice.
But the thing is, for kids, for toddlers that are under 2, it's a very big challenge caring for them. And it limits the time you're allowed to work. Not like personally. Some people do run shifts with their partners, whereby you can do day or you can do night, and that impacts so much on the relationship of the parents.
I can imagine.
Because most times, just like when we just came into the country, when I just had my first, it was very difficult. Sometimes my husband will have to leave a note on the table because we don't get to see each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as I'm coming back, he's leaving. Sometimes I have to wait for him in the car. Once I see the car coming in, some people even do the exchange in the hospital. I know a friend, they'll go for their shift and the husband comes to take the car and the child and he goes to work. And this, and just because of the cost of living, your basic salary would never be enough to cater for your needs, especially for, when you have kinsmen at home that are depending on you.
They are waiting and sending their bills.
Like, in fact, they take most of the money, if I'm to be honest.
Yeah, bro.
So you have to do extra shifts. So if you find out the father is doing 5 days a week, the mother is doing 5 days a week, and these are different days, different times, and nights and days. Someone has to be in the house
to see each other.
So it's very difficult. That is why you have a lot of crisis in homes, and even the kids suffer it a lot because they don't get to see their parents together at home. It's always one person or the other. It can be very bad. That's the biggest challenge everyone is facing. And child minding, it not be here.
Wow.
That one not be here. Because it seems like you're working to pay for child minders. For example, you can see someone earning like 1,500, that's basic.
A month.
And a childminder will be taking like 1,200 a month.
Oh my goodness.
So that is 300.
How am I going to feed the child?
That's why the 2 parents, they have to be working back to back. Some people 6 days a week, just to foot the bill. It's challenging.
I can imagine.
That's still the hard nuts that we all need to crack.
Wow, I think we are lucky in Canada because to an extent, childcare is expensive, but the Canadian government has actually brought it down. I think they have reduced it to either 25 or 50% right now. So, but even at that, we have what we call the childcare subsidy, which is accessible to Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and I think people on a temporary visa too, like the students and all of that. So you get the childcare subsidy, which is calculated based on your family income. So if you're the low income earners, you might be paying 0. And this, you're entitled to 5 days a week, take the kids to daycare 5 days a week.
And that's for people with PR.
PRO citizens and on temporary visa. As long as you're living in Canada and then you're a
Okay, that's
taxpayer,
nice
then you're entitled to that childcare subsidy. But again, is calculated. So personally, when we just got to Canada, because we were coming from Nigeria, exchange rates, brought us down to the lower income earners, and we're able to get the full subsidy, and we paid zero for like 2-3 years. So recently, because we've earned and our income has increased, we are now paying like 50%, which is not too bad. So that's one advantage we have in Canada. You get the childcare subsidy.
The 15 hours is for people on temporary visa.
Yeah.
But for not PR, if you've got your ILR, you have the same right as a citizen.
Okay.
Almost the same right.
Okay.
And you get all the public funds, and
I see.
So it's easier when you've got your papers.
Yeah. Oh, it's easier for Canadians.
You get 30 hours.
For Canadians, it's everybody. You don't even get hours as long as it's available by that.
That's nice.
So if you have a childcare that even offers weekends, if you're able to find a childcare that offers weekend and overnight, you still get the access.
They don't have such
for all of that. So that's one good advantage that makes it easier for us to actually, work.
But the good thing is they are proposing that I think from September this year, 9 months and above can have access to 15 or 30 hours depending on your status. What do you call them? Most mothers, they go back after 9 months.
Okay.
So at least from that 9 months, you can take your child 30 hours. That's really good.
Yeah. I hope they implement that soon.
They don't promise what they don't do. They take time to promise, but once they promise,
they'll do it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the dental and healthcare, because I know sometimes taking care of our dental needs and all of that are expensive. So do you have access to free healthcare, dental care, eye care?
This is our pride. This area is our pride. UK is, I think, is a common knowledge that they have one of the best healthcare system in the world. Honestly, I give it to them. It's very easy to access because every community have their local GP practice. In case you can't, quickly get to the hospital, you have your GP practice, and they are phone call away. They just call 111, and you get the advice. And immediately, if you need an urgent referral, they have out of hours. You can get an immediate referral to see a professional. And if you need to get to the hospital, it's very, very easy. And if you think that is an emergency, you have 911, and they are very, very swift. Although they prioritize what they need to do. They are very swift in response. I know they've come to my aid.
So are all of these free?
Yes.
Health, dental, eye.
Yes, basic health. They are free. And for kids under 16, all prescription are free.
Wow.
And for adults, I think either 55 or 65 is also free.
Yeah.
So they leave the working age, the middle age to, foot the bills. But then once it's prescribed, you can only pay a certain amount. I think it's £9.70 for just the prescription. Even if the medication is worth more than that, you don't get to pay anymore. That's the highest you can pay.
Wow.
So, like, their health system is, I've had 2 cesareans and it's all free.
Nice.
I didn't pay a dime. I get to eat morning, afternoon, night.
Yeah.
They take care of my baby. They came to the house to even look after me 2 weeks after I've been discharged. In fact, I didn't want to go home.
I can imagine.
They are sweet. They are amazing.
Nice.
The healthcare system, all diagnosis, investigation, treatment, free. But because it's free, they have a very long backlog. And
I know.
COVID didn't help with the whole thing. During COVID, a lot of people cancel their appointments.
Wow.
And now they are coming back.
Yeah, they are coming
and
back.
Everybody is trying to get to the pace with the population.
But
they are really doing their best. They are paying overtime, doing back shifts just to make sure that everybody is cared for. And they are trying to, prioritize it as well.
Yeah, I think this is our exact experience in Canada as well. We have good healthcare, which are all free for everyone. But the problem, just like you said, COVID dealt with everybody. Yeah. So we have a backlog of people that are trying to get a GP. So every family...
Not GP. Ours is not GP. is the hospital, like surgeries and all that. And emergency surgeries get swift response.
Yeah.
But if like, things that are not life threatening, they have people
They can wait.
Yeah, they have to triage and you have to wait for your turn. But if it's life threatening,
it's immediately.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
in Canada, each family, like my family, will have a family doctor that is responsible for your family, who you call. But if it's an emergency, you can go to the ER, emergency room, and then you get emergency care. And also, we also have free medical services. I've had 2 cesarean as well. I've had appendectomy. Exactly. I've had an appendectomy as well, so I didn't even pay a single dime. I didn't pay a dime for any of those procedures. And like, also, when I had my daughter actually, I had the option of getting a personal support worker to come to the house, help bathe the baby, help me hold the baby, and all of that. For a period of time. But for some reason, I chose not to go for it because I felt I didn't really need it that time. I didn't access
everything that's available.
But at some point, I was wishing I actually did. Let me actually experience what it was like.
It gives you enough time to recover.
Yeah. About prescription for children, like you said, 16 years and younger is free. But there's a condition to it. If you're working, we have what we call the employment benefit. So if you're working and you have health insurance with your company, medical insurance, so you can attach your children, and that pays a percentage for prescription. But if you don't have those insurance at all, it's entirely free for children 16 years and under. Then for you who as an adult, your prescription, you pay for them. So what most people do is like they also have health benefits from the employer, which pays like a percentage. So people pay 100%, some pay 80%. That's the employer benefit. Yeah. So, but for dental is not free by the government. You can only take care of it from your work insurance. Yes.
No,
as well as your prescription, because these are my prescription glasses. So my husband's own paid 80%, mine paid 20%. So that's 0 for me. So these are like what it is like. But if it's any other health condition, it's entirely free. So let's talk about we've talked about the quality of healthcare and ease of access. We have something called food banks. People have like food banks and community welfare, community centers where you can get assistance.
Yeah, well, I don't know about other places, but here where we live, we've got what is called a community fridge.
Okay.
There, most stores try to bring in things that probably like 5 days to go or 3 days to go before they become out of date. Just bring it in there. And even residents around the area, you've got something in your house that you know that you can't finish before it expires.
Yeah.
You take it there as well. So you get people coming there every morning to come and have a look. Then it's not just food, even like toys for kids, books, and even normal inspirational books that you have read and you don't want to go through it again. Just go and drop it there.
Donation centers.
Yeah.
So like a donation center.
Yeah, you can get clothes as well, not just food. But each time you get there is food.
Nice. That's really nice. For us, we have food banks in different locations, and then some of them, like the one close to my area, operates once a week, every Thursday, and they give you lots of things: fresh food, milk, egg, grains, every single thing that people use at home.
Wow.
So you go there and then you pre-register. It's not like you have to qualify, but they just want to know how many members of the people. Yeah. So they give you according to the number of people in your family, and then it's for everybody. Okay. So let's say I lose my job today. Is there a way the government can or from your own personal experience, is there a way the government can cushion the effect? Do they have plans of support for me until I get another job?
Well, if you're on visa, you're not entitled to public fund, for one.
Oh, I see.
But that does not mean the community will just let you die out of hunger or anything. I know there are groups, charity groups, a lot of people you can go and talk to, and they will help to sort you out. But not like you're entitled to anything. But you have support groups that you can speak to. Even the BAME community, you can still speak to them. Even the local council, can speak to them. If they can't help, they will direct you to some people that can help. Or just know that you're not alone. You're never alone here.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have something called employment insurance.
Is that for everyone?
as long as you're working in Canada.
Oh.
So first of all, for you to work, then you have to either have a work permit or you're a permanent resident or you're a citizen.
Okay.
That's so as long as you're working in Canada with any kind of visa, you know, because if you have a visitor's visa, then you're not entitled to work, so it doesn't apply. So as long as you're working, every single month, they take a tiny bit of your salary. They call it employment insurance, which you don't even notice because it's so tiny. Think it's about, I'm not sure, but it's very little. And if you have to be out of job for any reason, then you get paid a percentage of your salary
until
you get back to work.
Then
so we call it
insurance.
employment insurance. Yes. Yeah. So they take care of that. It also takes care of you when you're maternity leave. So maternity leave is 55%. We have option of 12 months and 18 months. So if you're on 12 months, you get 55% of your salary. And if you're on 18 months, you get, I think, about 37.5 or so. For that, every single month for that period of your maternity. So that's the employment insurance takes care of you in this, when you're in these two situations, either maternity, paternity, you're out of job, you lost your job, and all of that. So,
but then that's not the government.
That's the government.
As long as they are taking, we have something like that here. We have insurance. We've got life insurance, home insurance, and different types of insurance. And your life insurance, most companies will cover when you're out of.
No, life insurance is completely different from employment insurance.
It depends on the company. Some company will also deal with sickness episode or accidents and all that. It's not just when someone dies.
Yeah, I get that.
But this company, if you're registered with them, they take like some amount of your money from your account every month. And if you have any of these cases, then they will pay you while you're out of work.
That is a personal plan for you. This one comes with your work package, as long as you're working. So the person you're even going to contact to let them know that you're out of work is the government, but not you, the company. You have to contact. We call it the Canada Revenue Agency. So you have to contact them and let them know that you've lost your job or you're going on maternity leave, and then they'll process your payment. So you still have your personal own, if you have such personal plans. But this is what the government. So your contribution might even be like $1,000 for 1 or 2 years, but you're getting more than that in a month,
Well, in NHS, they have something like that. If you have any injury or sickness, that will probably mean that you'll be out of work for some time. They pay you sickness pay as well.
I think I've heard about that one before.
They pay you sickness pay, so they don't just leave you like that.
Okay, so let's talk about citizenship, which is what everybody is looking up to. Like, you want to be able to sit down properly with your 2 legs on the ground. Yeah. So what's the process? How long does it take for you to get to that point of citizenship? And how is the process?
It's totally different, but I'll speak for the one I'm sure of. I came in on tier 2 visa, and once you are in UK for 5 years, you can apply for your ILR. That's indefinite leave to remain. And
that's like our PR.
Yes.
Okay.
That's when you can apply. And I know some people take like 10 years if you come on tier 4, but tier 2 is 5 years. Then you can get your ILR. With that, you have access to a lot of things, just like a citizen, but you don't have a passport.
Okay.
But after like 6 months to a year, around that period, you can apply for your passport as well. But once you become, you get your ILR, if you've got kids, that, like me, I had my kids here, automatically, I can apply for their passport. Even before me getting my own passport.
After 5 years?
Yes. Once I'm 5 years and I apply for my ILR, I can apply for their passport and they will get their passport.
So they'll get their passport and you'll have the ILR?
Yes.
Nice.
Then after some period of time, I can apply for my own passport.
I see.
It's roughly 6 years.
For
me, but the kids born here, once I have my ILR, they can have their passport. And once I get my ILR, any other baby, as soon as I have the baby, I can apply for the passport.
I see. Okay. For Canada, if you like, let's say you just landed in Canada today, whether as a visitor, as a student, as a whatever. If you like, be missing road. and land in Canada. Once you give birth to a child, the child is an automatic citizen. You might just be a you might just be walking around, but that child is an automatic citizen.
I think US, they do it as well there.
I don't know how their process works because I haven't lived in the US, but for us, once you come in and you give birth, if you come in this morning and give birth this afternoon, the child becomes a citizen. Even if nobody knows, you don't even have a passport, like you're strolling, you're a refugee. Yeah. So then for you that, let's say you come in as a permanent resident, after 3 years, then you can apply for your passport. That's Canadian citizenship passport.
Wow, that's quite short.
3 years. Then if you come in as a student, first of all, you have to become a PR first, and then before you apply for passports. So these are the priority levels. So for people that came in 2021, they're already processing their citizenship.
Wow, that's
so if you came in with any child that is maybe the child was born outside Canada, and then all of you automatically get your passport at the same time with that application. But the ones that you gave birth to, like right now, I had 2 kids here. I had one in Nigeria. 2 of them they already have their passports. But my other son is waiting for me to get mine soon.
So they are not from the same country.
Exactly. They're not from the same country. So let's talk about the weather, which is one question that everybody asked about Canada. Oh, I heard Canada is cold. How is it in the UK? What's the weather condition like?
Well, the truth about UK and their weather, we can never predict. Yes, we've got weather forecasts. Sometimes they are correct. Sometimes it's a bit questionable. But just to be safe, whenever you're going out, whether it is summer, winter, autumn, or spring, just take your umbrella, have a singlet, and your winter jacket.
Oh my goodness.
You can meet any of these on the way. In a day. It can be very sunny when you are going, and by the time to get to the junction to wait for the bus, it's raining. You need your coat. And by the time that you are coming back, it's windy. Before you get home, you are freezing, so you need your winter jacket. You will get to use all of them.
All of them, I can imagine.
It's very unpredictable. Now they said we are in summer. I'm still looking at it.
But it's been raining. Okay, so like, what's the extreme, like the coldest temperature you have experienced?
Since I came in,
I think you've been in UK for 5 years. Yeah.
So I think I've seen -6.
-6. That's the coldest.
Yeah, but let me tell you, -6. They may say -6 when you check the temperature.
Yeah.
But in your bone, it's maybe -50. I don't know.
It feels like
straight into. Yeah, they always tell you that.
Yeah, feels like
this, feels like that. Or they may say it's hot and it's 20, but feels like 16.
Okay.
They can be like that. So
yeah,
it always feels like -50.
Okay. Yeah, for Canada, we do experience, variety of, temperatures in a particular day. I've personally seen a day that it rained, it was sunny and very, very windy and then cold in one single day.
That's normal.
Yeah, but in Canada, we are used to the extreme cold. I have personally witnessed I think it was -30 in a day. Like, I had all my gloves. I think I went for antenatal that day or something. I dressed up properly, but I was still freezing at the bus stop. Wow. Winter is the time you don't want to use public transport at all.
I think it's everywhere.
Yeah. The day I had my baby, it was -18. It was so cold. I think it was even -18. It feels like -25 or something because it was really cold. But when it's hot, we have actually seen 37 degrees, 38 degrees, very, very hot that you'd be running into the house. Yeah. So we experienced both 2 extremes, extreme cold, extreme hot,
2021 was like that. It was extreme temperature. It was very, very hot on the hot days, and on the cold days it was quite cold.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that it's like that. It's just like a one-off. But regularly you see -12, -15, -10, and all of that. But we actually experience cold. But that doesn't mean that we don't see regular normal temperature. So let's talk about the communal living. Coming from, personally, we are Nigerians, so you know how we live like a family and all of that. We attend events for each other. How is the communal life in the UK?
It depends on your personality. If you're the outgoing person, if you're the outgoing type, it will be fun for you. If you know people, it'll be fun for you. But if you're the type that, It's just me. I don't like calls. I don't like chatting. You get from work to room and room to the market and back. Then to be very lonely for you.
For you.
So here in the UK, you have to make effort to socialize.
Yeah.
If you don't make that effort, you'll be very, very lonely. It's not like back home where socialization just come to you.
If you don't look
Whether
for
you
people,
like
they will
it,
look
they'll
for
look
you.
for you, whether you like it or not. But here you have to make intentional effort to socialize. That's when it become fun for you. Like attending event, you get invites. You have to attend.
Yeah.
And if you don't get to attend for people, nobody will come for you.
Exactly, yeah.
So you have to create room for it to happen. But yeah, because of the kind of person we are, I and my husband, we are very outgoing. We're always on the road. So
okay.
Yeah, we are enjoying it. But you can never compare it to what
So back home. No, I know. Yeah, I think it's the same thing with us. But the only difference is that in Canada, people live far apart. Like you might have friends like in other provinces, which you need to fly to go there and stuff. So, but if you're in an education where you have a lot of people so the best thing, like you said, is to make intentional effort to socialize. Yeah, it's just the way
go
it is.
Use work kill yourself. That's what most people do. They work 6 days a week. You don't even get
they work
for social events. So yeah.
Okay. It's been a very interesting, time right here. And we want to say thank you to Ugo for making our time to be on this show today.
Welcome.
Thank you for letting us into your UK life. And then we're hoping that we'll have more of these sections, in days to come.
Definitely.
So our darling fans, don't forget to like, to comment and share. Tell us which one is more interesting to you. If you have UK passport and Canadian passport, tell us in the comment section, where do you think you want to go to? Tell us the reasons why you feel this one is better for you as a person. Just let us know about your views, and then it will also help other people to make their decisions. Thank you so much for being on this show, and as always, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.